Mysterious flashing lights were spotted in the Carolina skies. Some believe it could have been a close encounter of the third kind. Chris Holbert recorded what he claims was a UFO. In the video Holbert recorded and later posted on YouTube, it appears to show flashing lights, at one point forming the shape of a triangle. The Charlotte man says the unusual lights were moving around like fireflies, really high up in the air. But was it really a UFO? According to Peter Davenport, the director of the National UFO Reporting Center, alleged UFO sightings are not an unusual occurrence throughout the Carolinas. In his 22 years of tracking UFOs, Davenport says 30 to 40,000 reports of similar sightings have been made in North and South Carolina. The Federal Aviation Administration says there were no reports of aircraft in the area at the time of the sighting. If it really was a UFO, Holbert says that he just hopes they are friendly. For FoxNews.com, I'm Rob Demetrius.
As you saw from that report, the media still likes to jokingly portray the phenomenon to mean extraterrestrial, despite the logic of the video evidence saying otherwise. See my last UFO video on that sighting. Here is another example of this cluster orb UFO seen over Mexico shared on OVNIS vs UFO's Facebook page. As someone considering being a MUFON investigator, we know this phenomenon seems to have the ability to morph, fuse, split, expand, shrink, pulsate, change color and move through a vacuum. They seem to be made out of some kind of molten metallic-like plasma substance of high electromagnetic energy. When you see these orbs, what you're looking at may actually be the being itself, not a craft. Here is an interesting type of UFO that appears to look like space debris. I'm going to keep an eye on this, for this type of sighting started appearing in 2013. Most space debris is not white, and it's clearly not a bolide meteor.
Cara, que chique, isso é milhão, cara. Graças a Deus, obrigado, filho, uma coisa da natureza diferente, senhor, obrigado mesmo. Isso aqui é coisa de, o cara morre e não vê isso aí. Você tá vendo que ele tá passando pela órbita terrestre, cara? Ele tá queimando.
The notion of identity is different for them, for they seem to have a more collective nature based on their ability to fuse. Their behavior seems more interested in affecting us psychologically through the use of the internet as a way of testing our beliefs between ourselves. They seem to have a more supernatural nature, but different from the small demonic poltergeist spirit orbs, for they have more freedom of movement, and don't require the summoning by a human, although they can be summoned given time, for I have tried it with a flashlight and to my disbelief it worked. These UFOs choose to shift into the visible light spectrum to get our attention. They have the ability to change from a liquid to a solid, forming into a saucer shape. That is my conclusion for now. One thing seems clear: it is highly unlikely this is biological in nature. That isn't to say they may have started out biological a billion years ago but have evolved to a supernatural angelic state of existence, or interdimensional in nature. We might call them fairy orbs, jinn, or some type of angelic beings.